Knowledge is important, we all agree to that. But when it comes to competitive exams like GATE or JEE, which are domain heavy, their knowledge becomes even more crucial. And there are specifically two aspects of knowledge which becomes very much important in these exams. So in this interesting and knowledgeable video, we are going to know not only about those two aspects, but also about some of the research, some of the psychological research done in the direction of knowledge, in the direction of confidence. And that is going to help you in your exam. That is going to help you in planning for your exam for sure. So make sure that you watch this video till the end to get the full knowledge, because half knowledge is dangerous. You will very soon realize that. Hello everyone, welcome to Exergic. For those of you who are listening to me, watching me for the first time, my name is Chandresh Mahajan. I am the founder and chief educator at Exergic, which is India's most trusted institute for online GATE preparation. I myself have gotten all India rank 37 in GATE Mechanical, and to know more about Exergic and our courses, our ranks, you can visit Exergic website. Moving on to the discussion that we were doing. I would like to start that with a real life incident, एक सच्ची घटना, real life सच्ची घटना से मैं इस डिस्कशन की शुरुआत करता हूँ. 1995 में अमेरिका में there was a person whose name was MacArthur Wheeler, okay, and this person realized that lemon juice, नींबू का रस, it acts as an invisible ink. Right? I am sure all of you have seen or done or heard of this experiment. When you have something written from lemon juice, it's as good as invisible. It acts as an invisible ink, right? And when you slightly warm it, then it starts to show up the color. Have a look at this small video also. So having this small knowledge about lemon and its juice, it gave an idea to MacArthur Wheeler that why not do something तूफानी, आज कुछ तूफानी करते हैं, and let us apply the lemon juice all over my body. That will make him invisible. That's what he thought by the limited knowledge that he had. And do you know what he decided to do after that? He put lemon juice all over his body. He was not wearing any mask. Obviously, he was wearing clothes, but he was not wearing any mask, anything else. And then he decided to loot a bank, to rob a bank. It's a real life incident. He went to the bank assuming that he has applied the lemon juice, so he's invisible now. And without any mask, without anything, smiling, he went to the bank, pointed the gun, obviously looted the money, asked for the money, and then went back. This is the person, this is that person, right? You can see this is the gun in his hand, and obviously everything was captured by CCTV cameras. It's an incident of 1995, all right? Obviously he robbed the bank और खुशी खुशी एकदम अपने वो घर पहुंचे, और he thought that मजा ही आ गया, क्या दिमाग लगाया है भाई, पार्टी करेंगे. Obviously after some time police reached him, क्योंकि उन्होंने अपने दर्शन हर जगह दिए थे, अच्छे खासे वो दिख रहे थे सबको. He thought he is not visible, but he was visible. So he was arrested after some time, obviously. And when police arrested him, his only response was कि I applied the lemon juice. अरे मैंने तो मतलब lemon juice लगाया था, मैं कैसे दिख गया? He was in disbelief कि ऐसा कैसे हो गया. तो ये एक actual incident है. And this incident inspired two psychologists, Dunning and Kruger, to study about this behavior, that how knowledge is related to the confidence, how knowledge and confidence are related to each other. Generally, if you hear about it, you will either listen to variety of interpretations. आपने अपनी local language में definitely इसको सुना होगा. Someone will say half knowledge is dangerous, right? संस्कृत में उसे हमें पढ़ाया था हमारे सर ने, अल्प विद्या भयंकरी, right? On the other hand, आपने ये सुना होगा, something is better than nothing. नहीं से कुछ भला, राइट? तो if you will just listen to random quotes without having full knowledge about it, definitely that's not going to give you the right conclusion, right interpretation. So that was done by Dunning and Kruger. So what they did, that obviously depending upon the study behavior, they plotted a graph between the knowledge and confidence, that how knowledge gives confidence. उनको इनको थोड़ी सी एक knowledge आ गई, उस basis पे उनका confidence इतना बढ़ गया कि वो बैंक लूटने चले गए. तो obviously this study was very crucial. So point is, when you don't know anything about any topic, obviously your confidence will not be there. Means initially you will be somewhere here. You will be somewhere here. When your knowledge is very less, confidence also will be very less, correct? But when you start knowing something about that specific topic, your confidence will boost suddenly. Even when you have a very little idea of something, but you start feeling very confident. You would have seen that. I'll give you one practical example. You would have seen many cases where people will just read one specific news article about a topic, and then they start considering him an expert in that. वो डिबेट करना शुरू कर देते हैं सबसे, एक आर्टिकल पढ़ के. कई लोग एक शॉर्ट देख के 60 सेकंड का शॉर्ट्स देख के बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट अपने आप को समझने लगते हैं अबाउट एनी टॉपिक. दे विल वॉच 160 second topic on anything, maybe it could be the war, maybe ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine, and then they will start considering them as a war expert, और वो डिबेट करने लग जाएंगे सबसे, वो 60 सेकंड के वीडियो के बेसिस पे. पॉइंट इज, व्हेन यू हैव अ वेरी लिटिल नॉलेज अबाउट समथिंग, सरफेस पे जब नॉलेज होती है, व्हेन यू एक्चुअली डोंट नो कि कितनी डेप्थ है उसमें, यू स्टार्ट फीलिंग वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट. आपको लगता है उतना ही है, यू फील वट एवर यू नो, दैट्स द ओनली थिंग दैट यू नीड टू नो. उससे ज्यादा कोई उस चीज के बारे में नहीं जानता है और आप एक्सपर्ट हो उसमें. तो वेरी लिटिल नॉलेज इंक्रीजेस कॉन्फिडेंस अ लॉट, जब वो नॉलेज बहुत कम है. बट व्हेन you start reading, understanding it more and more and more, what happens? You start realizing how much you don't know, correct? जो मैं बता रहा हूं यहां पे, that's going to be very important for your exams. I will tell you how this is related to any of these competitive exams. So make sure that you listen to me carefully. More and more you keep on knowing, more and more knowledge you keep on acquiring. आपको उतना पता चलता है कि इतना सब मुझे नहीं आता था, इतनी सारी चीजें भी हैं तो पता ही नहीं था, करेक्ट? आई थिंक एक कोट भी है कोई फेमस, ध्यान नहीं आ रहा है मुझे अभी. द मोर आई नो, द मोर आई रियलाइज हाउ मच आई डोंट नो, ऐसे करके कोई कोट है एक, विच इज करेक्ट. जितना आप जानते हो उतना आपको पता चलता है कि अच्छा ये भी था, वो भी था, मुझे तो नहीं पता था यार. इट मेक्स यू हम्बल ऑल्सो, बट एग्जाम के हिसाब से मैं बताऊं तो इट विल ड्रॉप योर कॉन्फिडेंस, राइट? तो आपका कॉन्फिडेंस जैसे जैसे आपको यू गेट टू रियलाइज कि अरे और भी है, ये भी है, वो भी है, your knowledge increases. After a certain point your confidence will drop suddenly. I will tell you ये किस फेज में होता है, ये किस फेज में होता है. I will tell you everything from the point of view of your exam. And then there is a phase where you feel कि भाई मेरे बस की नहीं, I can't do it, इतना मेरे से नहीं हो पाएगा. उस फेज में आप होते हो ऑलमोस्ट यहाँ पे. But those who persevere, जो लगे रहते हैं, their knowledge and confidence then increases simultaneously. एक पॉइंट आता है, उसके बाद धीरे धीरे जैसे जैसे उनको आइडिया लगता है, समझ में आता है कैसे चीजें चल रही हैं, कैसे मार्क्स आएंगे, कैसे क्वेश्चन सॉल्व होंगे, then really their confidence starts increasing and a level comes when they become an expert, right? So almost expert का जो confidence है वो इस लेवल पे रहता है. आप समझ सकते हो, एक इस इंसान का जिसको बहुत कम नॉलेज है, वो अपने आप को एक्सपर्ट से भी ज्यादा कॉन्फिडेंट होता है. ये जो जोन है, दिस इज द जोन ऑफ ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस. दिस इज ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस. व्हेन यू आर हैविंग कॉन्फिडेंस मोर देन एन एक्सपर्ट, जिसको बहुत ज्यादा नॉलेज है, उससे भी ज्यादा आपका कॉन्फिडेंस है, करेक्ट? यू ऑल नो वी नीड टू अवॉइड दैट. यू नीड टू अवॉइड दैट फेज. एनीवे, कमिंग टू द पॉइंट that how this graph which was proposed by Dunning and Kruger, how this is relevant for your exams, what you can learn and understand from this graph. Let us talk about that. And now let me explain how this graph works for competitive exams, whether it is GATE, whether it is JEE or any other exam that you are writing. If you look at this zone here, This zone represents the initial learning, and that initial learning you get from theoretical lectures. Lectures are also of two types. Theoretical lectures where you will be introduced to the concept, right, where the derivation will be done, formulae will be explained, concepts will be explained. That's the beginning of your knowledge, right? And after the end of those theoretical lectures, फैकल्टी ने बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाया, आपको बहुत मजा आया और आपको लगा यार फुल कॉन्फिडेंस आ गया, मुझे सब समझ में आ गया. आपको समझ में आ भी गया, यू अंडरस्टूड दैट ऑल्सो, बट इट मेक यू फील कि नाउ यू नो एवरीथिंग. क्या पढ़ाया सर ने, मजा आ गया. आप होते हो यहां. दिस इज वेयर यू आर एट द एंड ऑफ दोज थ्योरेटिकल लेक्चर्स. यू आर हेयर. नॉलेज इज लिमिटेड but confidence is very high. Why am I saying knowledge is limited? Faculty told you everything clearly, he taught you everything, then why am I saying knowledge is limited? Point being, majority of these exams don't just test your theoretical knowledge, right? These exams do not test your theoretical knowledge. They test heavily your numerical knowledge. Your ability to apply that knowledge is being tested in these exams like GATE or JEE or any such exams, right? So when faculty starts solving problems, when I start solving problems for example, then you will start moving in this direction. Why? Because you will think यार concept तो सब समझ में आ गया था, right? Formula भी पता है, but still when it comes to applying the problem, sir is doing that in solved example, but initially I am not able to do that. That will give you a sudden drop. जितना ऊंचा उड़ता है इंसान उतना ही नीचे जोर से गिरता भी है, राइट? सुना होगा. तो जितने जल्दी और ऊंचे आप उड़े, जैसे ही when you will move to quality solved examples, I'm not talking about formula based solved examples, your confidence will drop suddenly कि अरे ये तो हो ही नहीं रहा, right? I'm sure those of you who have done the preparation at least for a couple of years will 100% relate to what am I saying. You can let me know if you are relating to this. You can let me know in the comments. You can let me know your experience, how you felt during this journey, correct? So point is that your confidence drops suddenly, and then you start reaching in these areas. These are the areas of low confidence where you are having knowledge but you don't feel confident enough. You start realizing कि यार बहुत कुछ है जो मुझे नहीं आता. ठीक है, मुझे फॉर्मूला पता है, सिलेबस मेरा हो गया है, but I am not able to get the questions done. Maybe my knowledge is lesser, right? उस फेज में आप धीरे धीरे जाने लगते हो. But when you keep watching more and more solved examples, you keep analyzing what am I doing on the screen, how am I explaining each and every aspect of the question, then your confidence starts rising slowly. Slowly. And please note, this graph and this curve, its slope will depend upon two things. This slope is very much important. I am sure you can realize this slope is very much important, right? To have knowledge as well as confidence. Everyone wants that. This slope is related to two things. Firstly, whether whatever source or course you are referring to, is it delivering you the numerical concepts as well, or the course just dropped you here. They they put you on top here and then they dropped you. So whether the course that you are using, whether that course dropped you here and then it's up to you, or whether the course is actually getting you moved from here to there, that is very much important. That's something that faculty and the institute and the course needs to give. Secondly, at your end, you need to complement that with solving questions, with solving numericals, which will make sure that this slope is higher, right? And this goes longer. Means you will be having more knowledge and more confidence. This is decided, as I told you, by two things. On the part of institutes or the course or the faculty, they need to deliver the numerical concepts via solved examples and all, which ensures that you are having having that processing in your mind that okay, this is how the concept is related to numericals. Okay, if I apply this concept here in this way, avoiding these mistakes, I am actually getting the answer. That confidence and knowledge will go hand in hand. At the same time, if you have started solving questions, this process will speed up, will be faster. And this is something which is important for you to realize. Point number 1. Point number 2, in the same graph, there's one more interesting point for you to realize, that while you are near to the exam, whenever is your exam, in the 2 months, 1 month, in the month of exam, you want to be in this zone only. If you have not planned your preparation accordingly, and when exam is coming, you are in this zone, obviously not this zone, if you are in this zone, prepare for next year. If you are in this zone when exam is coming, prepare for next year. But if you are in this zone or this zone when exam is coming, it's very dangerous. Obviously knowledge is lesser, but your confidence has been declining. That's something which is very dangerous. Even when you will be doing something right, you will not do it with confidence. You will end up doing silly mistake. Any question that you solve without confidence, chances of silly mistakes increases a lot. You must have confidence while doing question. You have to solve question. As I keep saying, you have to solve question accurately and confidently. That's what is the motto when I teach any solved example, that I want to enable you to solve the question accurately and confidently. Because no matter if you are solving it correctly, but if you don't have confidence, here and there you will definitely do some silly mistakes. So that part is also equally important, to have confidence while solving numericals. Now the point here is, as I told you, that when exam is coming, you don't want to be in this region, obviously not in this region. So you need to ensure that from wherever you are covering the syllabus, make sure that the process is not very slow. Many students are in this zone, even 3-4 months before exam. Why? They just keep on enjoying. वो यहाँ से यहाँ आने में, यहाँ से टॉप पे आने में ही बहुत टाइम लगाते हैं. वो धीरे धीरे नॉलेज ले रहे हैं, आराम से चल रही है क्लासेस, सर क्लास में गप्पे मार रहे हैं, कॉमेडी कर रहे हैं, आप भी मजे ले रहे हो क्लास में, और आप यहाँ से यहाँ पहुँचने में ही 4 महीने, 5 महीने, 6 महीने लगा दे रहे हो मिनिमम. एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम जो पढ़ा था फर्स्ट मंथ में, एवरीथिंग यू फॉरगॉट. एंड व्हाट नेक्स्ट? अब रिवीजन करोगे. All these things, make sure that all these things actually result into a very dangerous phenomena, which is avoiding questions. आपके पास टाइम ही नहीं बचता है. क्लास कर रहे हो, जो concept which can be covered in 2 hours, वो आपकी क्लास में आपको 6-6 घंटे में कवर करा रहे हैं those concepts. तो ये जो प्रोसेस है, ये प्रोसेस स्लो हो गया है. आप फ्रॉम हेयर टू हेयर वही काम करने में आप डबल टाइम ले रहे हो दूसरे एस्पिरेंट्स के कंपैरिजन में. उससे होगा ये कि when exam will be coming, you will be in this region and not in this region. क्योंकि this process you wasted a lot of time in this process. And when I was actually reading about it and analyzing it, I felt very happy, क्योंकि the course that at least I can tell I give, I have ensured कि उसमें कोई फालतू बकवास नहीं है. There is no time waste. You can watch it at higher speed also if you can process it faster. Finished lectures, even in the live component of the lectures that I give, there is no time wastage at all. Obviously majority I have kept recorded for this reason only, and they are finished lectures, finished recorded, not recording of live, finished recorded lectures. But there I have ensured that I don't waste your time, right? Learning double, come time mein. That's what I have ensured. So actually the benefit of this is that all this curve you go through faster, because it's important that when exams are there, you do not want to be in this region. You want to be in this region where every day you are learning new things. Every day your confidence is increasing, your knowledge is increasing. और इस zone में when you will enter in exam hall, आपकी rank ही अलग आएगी. But when you will enter in exam in this zone, आपकी rank काफी अलग आएगी, जो आपको लग रहा था कि आएगी उससे, क्योंकि कॉन्फिडेंस तो हो सकता है आपका हाई हो. एंड फॉर दोज ऑफ यू हु आर इंटरेस्टेड इन नोइंग दैट हाउ Exergic solve this problem, listen to me from now on. And please note, even if you are enrolled in some other institute, listen to me very carefully. Point is, many of the courses, many of the institutes, as I told you, they drop their students here. वो अच्छे से पढ़ाएंगे, वो पीक पे आपकी कॉन्फिडेंस को ले जाएंगे, नॉलेज ऑब्वियसली उस टाइम दे विल बी लिमिटेड एंड दे विल ड्रॉप यू देयर एंड देन दे विल टेल यू जाओ क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करो. Everyone is solving question after that, right? Point is that the course has to ensure that you don't leave the student here, which I absolutely do. The course of Exergic absolutely do that. It ensures that we don't leave you here. Why and how? Why I explained how? By ensuring high quality and detailed in-depth numerical learning using solved example, high quality solved examples. They are a part of learning only. I don't consider learning to end here. Theoretical learning is not the complete learning. You have to know the application, right? Which is true everywhere. You have to know the numerical part, that how do you apply what you know, and that I ensure that students know by high quality solved example. So the Exergic course, you talk about full video course or Exergic Pro, I ensure that students reach somewhere here. And obviously some part of the journey needs to be done by a student, which is by solving questions. This part, as I told you, this part will be faster and better if you are parallelly solving question. But I will ensure that I don't drop you from this top. I don't drop you from here to down below. Rather, I take you to this journey with myself by high quality solved example, numerical learnings. What mistakes to avoid, how to approach the question, what is the language of the question telling you, how to interpret the language of the question, which path to take, what are the variations in the question. There are so many things, right? Even smallest and simplest example, which you may think as simple example, are discussed for 40-45 minutes, sometimes for 1 hour, without any time wastage. यहाँ वहाँ की बातें नहीं करता हूँ मैं पढ़ाते हुए गप्पे नहीं मारने लगता हूँ मैं. प्योर टेक्निकल कंटेंट, प्योर नॉलेज डिलीवर होती है और वो 45-1 आवर में इतना सीखने को मिलेगा जितना आप पूरे दिन क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करोगे उससे आपको जो सीखने मिलेगा वो आपको उस 1 hour 30 minutes में मिल जाएगा. ऑब्वियसली इन द रेस्ट टाइम यू कैन सॉल्व मोर एंड गेट अहेड. गेटिंग द पॉइंट? तो पॉइंट यही है कि यू हैव टू रीच इन दिस जोन विद कॉन्फिडेंस, with the right content at the right time when exam is coming. So that is my responsibility to ensure that. Your responsibility will be to choose the course judicially. बहुत सारे students, as I told you, they choose the course कि मज़ा आ रहा है पढ़ के, इन सर से पढ़ के बहुत मज़ा आ रहा है. वो एक डेंजरस तरीका है. आप स्कूल में नहीं हो, आप कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम के लिए प्रिपेयर कर रहे हो. जो मज़ा है वो आपको यहाँ ड्रॉप कर देगा, जो मज़ा है वो आपको यहाँ से यहाँ तक ले जाएगा और इस पॉइंट पे लाके वो आपको ड्रॉप कर देगा. और उसके बाद ये जर्नी सब स्टूडेंट्स कवर नहीं कर पाते. इस जर्नी में कई लोग बीच में लीव देयर प्रिपरेशन. मेनी स्टूडेंट्स, एज आई टोल्ड यू, एग्जाम जब चल रहा होता है वो यहाँ होते हैं एट दिस पॉइंट दे डोंट गेट गुड रैंक्स. तो पॉइंट यही है कि इस चीज को यू रियलाइज दैट कोर्स शुड बी अलाइंड टुवर्ड्स न्यूमेरिकल, अदरवाइज रैंक उसी की आएगी जो पहले से ही अच्छा था. If the course is not aligned towards numerical, those students who are already smarter, they will get rank. Average students cannot benefit from such courses at all, जहाँ पे they will drop you here. So this you need to realize at your end. And secondly, focus on numerical solving as well. Numerical learning that you are getting from full video course, from Exergic Pro, that you practice more and more. That will make you even better. This zone you will cover faster and with a higher slope. I hope you understood what I explained you in this entire lecture. As I told you, understanding is not everything. You have to implement that, and then you will realize that how this is doing wonders in your knowledge as well as to your confidence. I wish you all the best.